I'm honored to announce that the first recipient of the Qimpro Gold Standard 2024 for Education is Ms. Shweta Chari. Please come on stage.
Qimpro Gold Standard 2024 Education. Role model leader for quality and excellence. Shweta Chari has a mission to ensure that every child can exercise their right to play in India. Something as fundamental as play is a luxury for most children in India. 19 years ago, she doesn't even look that old, on the last day of her engineering examination, Shweta went directly to a shelter home for young boys, where she became a volunteer. She taught these boys mathematics. She observed that deprivation of play led to developmental delays and behavioral issues in these children. She also observed that the children had no time to play. Shweta boldly carved out an hour daily to simply play with these children, playing board games and engaging in free play. The children embraced Shweta into their lonely world. By intentionally incorporating play into the lives of these children, Shweta noticed a distinct difference in their emotional well-being, in their self-confidence, and learning outcomes. This catalyzed her to start a right to play movement in India and a visionary. She's a missionary too. In 2004, Shweta Chari co-founded the Open Tree Foundation. The flagship project of this foundation was Toy Bank, development through play. Initially, Toy Bank development through play focused on collecting and distributing ethical toys and games across various cities in India. However, Shweta realized that this was not enough. She then began to develop a curriculum that provided children with curated play material, as well as trained teachers to adapt games and play-oriented practices for the holistic development of children in India. From simply distributing toys and games among 100,000 plus children in Mumbai, Toy Bank Development Through Play has established 650 plus play to learn centers across 12 districts in Maharashtra. These centers have specific and highly curated play activities that impact, hold your breath, 77,000 plus children every day. Currently, Toy Bank Development Through Play is 45 people strong, along with 500 plus volunteers. These volunteers insist on being part of play sessions. Toy Bank's interventions have created play facilitators among teachers, caregivers, and volunteers. Shweta is backed by her friends, as well as supporters among artists, academicians, and child specialists from diverse spheres. In addition, she has a committed board of trustees. Shweta believes it is easier to build strong children than repair broken adults. Shweta Chari. Shweta Chari, facilitating quality improvement as a way of life. We congratulate Shweta Chari, our Qimpro Gold Standard 2024 for education. may I request Dr. Ashok Agarwal and Neeta Luthra Rao to come on stage and to do the honors.
It's a really, really long citation. It's very exciting to be here. It's been a nice long journey, longer journey ahead of me. I'm so glad I started when I was really young. I was 21. Clearly, I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but now I do. And I'm very determined to change the way our kids in India learn. I want to quickly, I don't have so much to say, but I've kind of scribbled a few things down. One very important thing that I read recently, I'm reading a book. It's fantastic. And also, just one little correction. That quote is Frederick Douglass's quote. He was a child slave back in America. And for somebody like him to say it's easier to build stronger children than to repair broken men and women is extremely powerful. For me, that really shook me from deep within. And I could see that play has the power of doing that. Since we've been talking about the brain and the left brain, the right brain, and there's this whole thing that I've been reading recently about brain. In the brain, the ability to hold on to and work with information, focus thinking, filter distractions, and switch gears is like an airport having a highly effective air traffic control system to manage the arrivals and departures of dozens of planes on multiple runways. Scientists refer to these capacities as executive function and self-regulation, a set of skills that relies on 3 types of brain functions: working memory, mental flexibility, and self-control. Children are not born with all of these skills, but they're born with the potential to actually develop them. And play is where they learn to solve their own problems and learn, and therefore the world is not so scary for them after all. For me, this whole idea of play is very, very intrinsic. I know for a fact that when children play, their minds open up, they learn how to learn, they get curious, they ask more questions, empathy levels go up very quickly, they're more resilient. Coming to the context of where we are today, one of the things why that really and truly drives me and determined to do this well within my lifetime is a simple fact that we don't truly understand how our children are going to be or what they're going to face in the next 20, 25 years. I have a 6-year-old niece. She's just gone to first grade, and she has this wonder and joy in her eyes at all times. But it scares me or also equally excites me thinking about what kind of world is she going to be seeing in 20 years. Telecommunications changed so many things in the last 2-3 decades for us. Nothing anymore seems predictable. One of the things that I truly, completely understand and want our children to be ready for is to be hyper-adaptable and also be able to understand what it means to be hyper-resilient. Because we don't know with AI and all of these things that are going on, what's really going on in the minds of these kids and what kind of world are they going to be facing. So, as this great Mr. Alvin Toffler, he was a futurist, a businessman, said very smartly, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. This is a cornerstone on which our education systems must be built. I am determined to change the way our children learn. They need to play. And for that, we need to realize the right to play in India. We need to start questioning how our children are growing up in these contexts and be ready for a future that we don't know how it's going to be and what it's going to be like. But kids are like blotting papers. They truly absorb And it's so difficult because I get very conscious when I'm in front of children because they're looking and learning. It's like we joke about this, monkey see, monkey do. With kids, it's constant. They're constantly watching you and observing you, learning from you. It's very, very important for us to understand how we can change the dynamics of how children learn and how to instill and install play at the center of everything. I'm so determined to do that with your support, Qimpro. I'm so glad to have got this amazing recognition. I'm also very proud and happy to share with you that our work got recognized by 100. I just came back this morning. 100 is a forum that recognizes organizations globally that find solutions that are scalable, and also organizations like ours that are doing different work in the space of education. Very, very grateful in our 20th year to get this recognition. I'm not going to take this lightly. This is a long way to go. It humbles me. On behalf of my team, I want to thank each one of you for this amazing, amazing recognition. Thank you.